Hey, deserving listeners. Today's episode is a continuation of the second campaign in which we are playing Dungeons & Dragons on the Psychology in Seattle podcast. This episode, if you didn't listen to the first one, you're probably okay, actually. You could probably just start here, but I recommend listening to episode number 1. This is going to be episode number 2. This D&D series, Dungeons & Dragons series, is an effort to demonstrate for people how you can use Dungeons & Dragons in a way to help people in therapy, at school, at home, to improve their social skills, to improve their self-esteem, to improve their bonding with other people, to explore their own identities. So what we're doing here is we're having Adam Johns and Adam Davis from Game to Grow, who are experts in this type of work. Adam Davis, can you give us the rundown on Game to Grow?
Yes. Game to Grow is a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in the greater Seattle area. What we're most well known for is our Dungeons & Dragons-based therapeutic social skills groups for kids and teens. So we serve almost 80 kids every week in therapeutic social skills groups using Dungeons & Dragons, where our game masters have some degree of therapy training, where we're using the game. The in-game scenario is really targeted to build real-world areas of social growth. So we have many of our players come to us with some degree of social isolation or lagging social skills, and we can use the game to help them become more confident, more capable, and more socially capable.
And where should they go to find you?
They can find out more information about us at gametogrow.org.
So it's been wonderful to see Adam and Adam grow their model here. They were students in my program many years ago, and they graduated, and they started doing Dungeons & Dragons therapy groups that they ran for themselves. And it just started with 5 to 10 young adults and teenagers. And then they developed their own nonprofit, and they asked me to be on the board. And it's now grown into several employees, 80 different people being treated at any given time. They're known around the world. When they go to PAX or Comic-Con or any other convention, they walk down the aisle and everyone, hey, those are the Game to Grow guys. So it's just been amazing to see two entrepreneurs who aren't trying to ruin the world through pollution and exploitation. They're actually trying to make the world a better place by utilizing something that I grew up loving and continue to love, which is the game of Dungeons & Dragons. Adam Johns is our dungeon master, so why don't you get us started, Johns?
Yeah. I like to say that we are polluting the world with goodness. That's how we're adding. All right, let's get our game on the road. As we always do, we will start off with a check-in question for everybody that extends as well to your characters as a chance to get to know these new characters just a little bit more. So I'm going to pose to you the check-in question of what is your favorite food to cook or to make? So we talked, I think, before about what your favorite food is to eat. But in this case, I'd like to know what you like to make as far as food. And the same thing for your characters. And this is maybe an interesting opportunity to also think about, like, your character's favorite food might be instant macaroni because they don't make any food because they live in a city and they don't ever cook for themselves. Or their favorite food is maybe raw bird that they killed while they were out in the forest. All those are maybe opportunities to think about that. So would you introduce, today, go ahead and obviously introduce yourself, talk about your answer to the second question. When you introduce your character, let's remind the audience the name of your character and just a quick, one sentence about who your character is as well, so we can get back into the nature of remembering who everybody is playing.
Okay, well, I'll go. So I don't cook at all, really, but I do make spam musubi, and I like making it. And it's a Japanese-American thing that you make at special occasions. You could make it anytime and eat it anytime, but it is something that generally people have at special occasions, 4th of July, New Year's, Christmas, this kind of thing, Thanksgiving. And I make a special kind of it that is a variation, but anyway, I like making it. My character, his name is Blazenar Dardragon. He is a Lightfoot halfling. Think of kind of a thin hobbit, if you will. And he goes by Uncle Blaze, and he is older. He's an older fella, and he is essentially like the Godfather, if you will, and into shady business. But he's not evil. He's not a bad person. He likes to think of himself as a legit businessman who likes to garner or utilize loyalty among his people. Anyway, for him, he grew up or lived his entire life in Feather Falls, which is a small agriculture town, and he would be very into things like, meat and potatoes kind of stuff. It's not a fancy city that would have lots of exotic foods. So for him, it's mutton, potatoes, and what would be the spinach? Spinach, mutton, and potatoes with butter and that kind of thing.
I love it. He is the almost meat and potatoes of
Meat and potatoes.
of enjoying food.
I can go next. So let's see. This is Umberto, by the way, for all you listeners out there. My favorite food is. Sorry, I was almost going to say my character's favorite food. My favorite food is shakies. What I mean by this are, there's lots of foods that I enjoy, but I make myself these shakes that have fruit and banana, which I guess is a kind of fruit, and avocado, which might be a kind of fruit, and it's got flaxseed and fish oil and protein powder, vegan, and it's got like this amla powder, which is another kind of fruit powder. And it's got nutritional yeast and a little bit of blackstrap molasses, unsulfured. And it all gets blended up with maybe a little ice, if it wasn't icy fruit to begin with, into this beautiful frothy thing. I add water, of course. And it's cold and it's tall and it takes me like an hour to drink. Oh, and I add fiber too. Let's not forget the fiber. And wheatgrass. So, it's like this crazy concoction. It's a full meal. It's filling, super healthy. I can't get enough of it.
I mean, from the description, I'm assuming it's great, but from the description, it sounds like taking a glass and dipping it into a swamp. And just
Is that what the coloring looks like? Because that's what I imagine the coloring looks a lot like.
There's a special coloring whenever I use purple fruits plus my greens, because that turns out brown.
That's pretty swamp
Brown
water
and
looking.
thick and like mushy.
And fibrous.
Fibrous.
It comes out the same way.
I like that fibrous is something good for you, but fibrous is a term we use to describe stuff not usually in a great way. It's not
It does taste good, I promise, but I can understand the hesitation. Anyways, my character, his name is Ulian. He's a male Vidalcan character who's a kind of this tall, skinny, tall, blue-skinned, half-aquatic creature, meaning they can like breathe underwater for a while. And their descendants are from, or their ancestors are from the water. And he's a wizard. These creatures are usually very intelligent and stuff like that, and he's very knowledgeable. He loves knowledge. That he actually loves it to a fault, and he is very good at magic. Some say he's the most gifted wizard of his age. Just kidding. I don't think anyone said that, but he's very interested in becoming the best wizard he can. And his favorite food is raw eel with something called citrica, which is like a citrus type of fruit, I suppose, and spice. And spice in their case, I don't think it's spicy like hot sauce. I think it's just really rich, probably seafood-based spices. So yeah, and he likes it. The slicker and slimier the eel, the better. No fiber. Just
You said it was
slick
called
sliminess.
citrica?
Citrica is the name of the. It must be some type of fruit.
I like it. Yeah, that's great. The slimier and the better.
Yeah, he likes it raw, slimy, maybe twitchy. He might eat it alive sometimes. Who knows?
Yum.
give it to me raw and wriggling.
This is Adam Davis. I really like cooking a lot. It's something that I at one point in my life, I wanted to grow up to be a chef. So I really like cooking a lot. I'm going to answer for this, though, not something that I historically cook a lot, but something that I've recently discovered is easy and fun and delicious, and that is flour tortillas.
Oh.
I'm from South Texas, and I have been living in Washington since 2003, and I have been lamenting the fact that you can't get good actual flour tortillas outside of the place that I grew up in the dusty Mexican borderlands. And so I have been just lamenting this for almost 20 years, and I recently discovered that it's actually not that hard to make a really good flour tortilla. So I've been looking for every excuse I can possibly make to make more flour tortillas now that I'm at home with a surplus of flour and bacon fat.
That sounds awesome.
You make it with bacon fat in it?
Yeah, I save bacon fat like I was trained to do by people who were, surviving the Depression. So I have all this bacon fat because I always save my bacon fat, but don't ever really do much with it. So I have like a jar of bacon fat in my fridge, and now I have an excuse to use a quarter of a cup of it at one time to make a batch of flour tortillas.
Oh, man.
How close were you to El Paso?
Not close at all. Texas is gigantic.
Yeah.
So I was also on the border, but like a solid, I don't know,
Was it
12-hour drive away.
East or west from El Paso?
12 hours.
South. I was in the Rio Grande Valley in Harlingen, Texas. I lived in San Antonio for many years as well, but Harlingen is where the best tamales and flour tortillas are.
I went on a road trip through that part, the national park there. What's the big national park?
Big Bend?
Big Bend, El Paso, Juarez. And there's this one part, maybe you had experiences like this, Davis, is there, at least back then, there was this little dirt road you could walk down, and this guy in a boat, a Mexican guy, would just let you go across the border for $1. And you think Rio Grande, and if you've never been to the Rio Grande, it sounds like this giant river. It's this tiny little river. You would never think.
Parts of it are big.
Parts of it are big.
Depends on where you are.
But you could wade across it in certain areas. And this guy would just, take you across this tiny little boat for $1, and then we'd go to this little town on the Mexican side, and then we'd take him. And so, no passport, no checkpoint, just
I
walk
never
across.
did that. I used to live so close to the border, though, that we could drive across the border in half an hour. So we'd go over for dinner. Before the border security was what it was after 9/11, we could just go over for dinner. So I would do that a couple times a week.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, I wonder if that
different
guy is still there. I'm guessing he's not. I don't
Probably
know.
not. Probably not.
What's your character going to eat?
My character's name is Gerkas, and his favorite thing to eat in the monastery is pulpo. He likes to eat octopus.
Ooh, octopus. We might have a little bit in common here.
I think we do. It's a traditional dish served on a sort of like a small cast iron skillet. It's like blackened, and it's got it's not, once again, it's sort of to echo what you were saying. It's not spicy, but it is like almost like an achiote kind of flavor. So it's kind of earthy and red, like a saffron.
I want to commend that you actually got a haircut, because your coronavirus hair was impressive last
It
time.
was amazing.
It very much grows out, and
Yeah, the Final Fantasy hair.
gravity has nothing on Davis's hair. But how did you get a haircut in these?
I went to a soft open for the guy that cuts my hair, and I got my temperature checked at the door. I wore a mask the whole time. I washed my hands as soon as I got there, and then sat in a chair with my hands, my arms crossed the entire time, and then the guy who cut my hair sanitized everything. It was a complicated process. It's a new world now.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a haircut, and the guy that cuts my hair is like a one-person salon, so there's no other people in the haircut place. It's just a little room, like a sola salon.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to seeing at what DEF CON it would eventually get to.
It's great.
I
It's
know.
the
I thought
measure
about.
of-
I thought about, because you're not the first person to say that. I know there are streams and stuff I've done. People are like, "Oh, I wonder what it's gonna look like next time." And I thought about like ransoming it off to say I will cut my hair unless people donate X amount of money to Game to Grow. But I thought maybe I should just get a haircut.
I definitely recorded a video for something, and I had this very long hair, and I saw the recording of the video, and it's shorter than it is now even, and I was like, oh, I really need it. I really need a haircut. I wish I had gotten a haircut before I recorded that video.
Well, gravity's got all sorts of things on your hair, John.
It's basically just pulls it down. I have like the straightest hair in the world.
Yeah, you just are looking more and more like one of the emo guys on South Park.
I think I could do it if I left like this chunk of hair long, and then just cut all the rest of the hair. I'd basically become the guy from AFI.
Yeah, some eyeshadow.
Yeah, some eyeshadow.
A little upside down cross on your cheek. You know.
Yeah. There you go.
My hair was long enough I could pull it down to my mouth. That's how long it was. That's how straight up it was off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I had bangs like that a decade ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go to, there's on the website, a website, missionary Facebook page maybe, early pictures. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had
man.
hair.
That
it wasn't my whole hair. It was just like
It's just the bangs.
down.
Yeah, that's so cool.
The emo bang. What was the name of the octopus dish? Did you say it was poop?
Pulpo. It's just Spanish
Pulpo.
for octopus. Yeah.
Oh, did you want a name for these dishes?
I don't need them.
Okay,
Although, can I just say, Lepi's took on a whole life of its own in our previous campaign.
I don't think this one. Yeah, because it's just like I'm sure they just cook it. You know, it's like raw eel tonight, and then they add the ingredients. You know,
There's got to be a name though. You know, unagi, that kind of thing.
Oh, sure.
Because your race has its own language, and so
Yep.
That's true. If this is a common dish of your
1 second.
people.
he's Googling random letters strung together. Or no, he's looking for like the Nigerian word for eel.
It's called, it's cheli. Cheli.
What language is that?
Greek. Cheli.
Is it Greek for eel?
CHLI. Cheli.
That's Greek to me.
So he likes some chili. Chili. I love me some chili right now. Right about now.
Well, my favorite food to make is actually I'm a huge sucker for lime. Anything with lime flavor and cilantro. So much so that I would be very happy just dipping pieces of cilantro in lime and eating them. I love those flavors. There's something about those flavors that
I agree.
That I absolutely love. So my favorite food to make is ceviche. And if you don't know this, ceviche is not actually cooked. It is fish that is steeped in lime or lemon juice and over a period of about an hour, and that acids in the lime and lemon cook the fish in the ceviche.
Sea urchin ceviche.
So it is one of my favorite dishes to make, and it's absolutely one of my favorite to eat. And actually, the reason I learned how to cook it was because I hated going to restaurants, and ceviche is always so expensive. And then they only give you this like tiny little bit of ceviche, and literally all I want to eat is lime juice and cilantro. So I want to eat like a huge bowl of ceviche, which is probably terrible for me. But
You would
I
love
it.
Peruvian restaurants.
Yeah,
Like,
do they use
I
a
don't
lot of
know
those
if
flavors?
around here, but like in Peru, ceviche is huge. It's probably the main food in Peru.
It's
And
so
when
good.
when you order ceviche, it's not like a little appetizer. It's like a dish full of what you love.
That's what I want. We should go to a Peruvian restaurant. That'd be wonderful. I have to track that down.
Yeah, that would be super cool. Super cool.
I think there's
so
a
that is
Peruvian
definitely my
restaurant
favorite one.
in Ballard.
Is
Is there not? Well, I'm just Googled it. There's Don Lucho's food truck. There's San Fernando's roasted Peruvian chicken.
I've been there.
Where is that?
That's down in South Seattle.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
the
used to go there for
places
my
I've
lunch
had
breaks.
it are in Peruvian restaurants in Colombia. So I don't know around here where they have
So
it.
Step one.
The secret
Colombia.
maybe is go to
Step two.
Colombia.
No, there's kind of a famous one in Burien in White Center, I believe. El Pique.
Oh, that's close to where I live. I'll have to totally check that out.
Holy smokes. It's time.
Someday when
Time to get some ceviche, Adam.
yeah, let's go do it. Let's all go get some ceviche right now. Oh wait. Let's maybe play some D&D first. You guys will play some D&D?
Yeah.
So, actually, Kirk, would you be willing to recap a little of what happened in our game? We did a lot of world building last time, so you don't necessarily need to recap all the world building. Yeah. But let's. Do you remember what happened sort of towards the end of the session for our story?
So the three of us players are at a funeral for a mutual friend of ours, and the three of us don't know each other. Girkus, Ulian, and Uncle Blaze are strangers to each other, who are, I think, some of the only people at the funeral, if I'm not mistaken. And in the middle of the service, someone is officiating, and they give us three a map that's supposed to lead us to an artifact, something that all of us are looking for. And as I think all of our hands are grabbing for it, a bunch of thugs or guards or someone rushes into the room and is about to attack us.
So, absolutely. To clarify a couple of points, you're outside. Okay. So the whole funeral is actually happening outside, and it's worthwhile to mention. I didn't say this last session, but it is actually raining. It's sort of lightly drizzling on you guys as you're outside, appropriate for the setting. And also there at the funeral is Lily, who is apparently the guy whose funeral you're at.
Thwar.
His daughter is apparently Lily, and she is here at the funeral as well. And Girkus had sort of intimidated one of these guys that was clearly aiming to attack you with a glowing laser fist. And then they decided to start attacking you, and one of them pulled a knife out and put it to Lily's throat. I'd also like to clarify who has the map, because the three of you all sort of reached out as this attorney was handing it over, and it was gifted to all three of you. You were all named in the will for a single map. And I'll say it's all folded up, so you don't actually know what it's a map to. You just know that it is a map.
And what did he say? He just said he wanted you to have this map?
He said he left for you this map, and then named specifically the three of you.
Yeah.
And then sort of handed it over. And I'm imagining, just because I'm sort of picturing the layout of the situation, that actually Ulian was the closest to the attorney. But you were all close enough to be able to sort of lean over and grab the map if you wanted to do so.
And to just metagame a little bit, because maybe the listeners are interested, is for my character, Uncle Blaze, he is in charge of a warehouse, and an artifact was taken, a key, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That is correct.
And it's a key to a larger artifact thing. And because it was in my warehouse under my care and it was stolen, to uphold the integrity of my business, I'm now actually, several of us in the family are venturing off into different areas. And I decided to go north to this town in, the Ringo Die. Rigati. Yeah. And because I have an old friend who knows a lot of things of the underworld, and so when I got here, he was dead, and then I'm being given this map. Girkus, what led you to this town, to this funeral, and this fella Thwar?
I have been exploring after going on my youthful journey, my walkabout away from the monastery, where I am told I need to experience the world and bring something important back to the monastery. So Girkus actually met Thwar at an open mic night, where he was reading some poetry that Girkus thought was pretty meaningful and beautiful, and so they became fast friends. And then they had lost touch, so it was sort of a surprise that Thwar invited Girkus to this event, considering they weren't. It's not like they were family or anything. But Girkus is sort of raised and believes that he is important because he is a gold dragonborn. So he has this sort of belief that he is maybe better than most people. Certainly better than other Dragonborn, but maybe also like they sort of have this. To say he's a Dragonborn supremacist would be a bit strong, I think. But to certainly a little bit of like. He's very confident and willing to take up space as a Dragonborn, thinking that this is his responsibility to take charge.
And he is coming to the funeral because he was invited to the funeral?
Yes.
I got it. And Berto? Julian, why is he here?
So, as a reminder, I met Thwar. I met Thwar at a library a few years back because, I was doing research. He overheard some stuff. He had some information that could be useful. It turns out we shared a passion for knowledge, and he was a very knowledgeable and connected person. And I had deep knowledge in some areas, which he found interesting. Recently, I actually got an invitation to attend this funeral, and I was very sad for his passing.
Okay. So did I get an invitation too? Did Uncle Blaze? So
Yes.
he just thought he would two birds with one stone, go to this funeral and also try to find out about the artifact?
I think when you went searching for Thwar to talk to him about what he might know, you sort of found out about the funeral, and pretty shortly thereafter, basically a letter arrived for you, saying you're invited to the funeral, and you don't know whether or not the letter arrived because they found out you were asking about him, or whether or not it was already on its way to you. But
It's also possible that Ulian got beat up by some of the folk that stole the thing from Kirk's character. Sorry, Kirk, what's your character's name again?
Blaze.
Blaze. Let me write this down. Blaze. Yeah, because he ran into some bad individuals, and then they attacked him, and they were carrying something where he recognized the symbol on this one box.
that was the individuals had the box that you recognized the symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So there clearly is some kind of connection, although your characters haven't really spoken about any of this yet, so you don't really know each other's connections, even to Thwar, but certainly not to maybe this other artifact thing that is going on, at least not yet. So when the map is handed to you, all of you have a sort of vested interest, at the very least a curiosity, to find out this is a map. He said map. He said the word map. And is handing you a folded up, old-looking piece of paper. Can
I try to sleight of hand grab it and replace it with something else?
You could try to sleight of hand grab it faster than anybody else can grab it. Okay. But in the circumstances that it is, there'd be no way for you to swap it out.
Okay.
In a convincing way, especially because you didn't know you were getting a map.
Thing.
So you couldn't have made a fake or anything like that, super fast. But yeah, you could totally grab it before anybody else does.
Do we want to role play what happens? Because obviously Ulian would be pedantically claiming that he's the map. It should be mine. Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, my hope is that I can grab it without it being super obvious that I grabbed it. I don't know if that's possible. So part of the larger issue here is the guys are about to attack us, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I feel like I can, in a split second, just kind of act like I bumped into it and people think it went flying and instead I actually, pocketed it, that's what I'm going to try to do. I guess that's what
I see. Yeah. Well, it does look like a folded up piece of paper. It wouldn't be convincing if anybody saw a close look of it, but if you basically bumped and tossed it into the it's currently an open grave right now with the casket in it. So if you sort of bumped and tossed a different piece of paper into the casket,
right,
that might look like it was the map or something that went falling into there.
Oh, so this guy's reaching out with the map. We don't know it's a map.
Mm-hmm.
No, you do know.
You do know it is a map. You don't know what it goes to.
He's reaching out with a map that's a folded piece of paper, and I'm probably about to reach for it. And out of the side comes this individual I haven't met, and bumps into the dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
I say something like, "Oh no, there's hoodlums about to attack us," and I act like I'm bumbling and I don't know Or I don't know, these guys are bumbling. Or no, wait. Oh no, we're about to be attacked, and I try to bump into
me.
So, for clarification, I think you're bumping into Ulian, not into the attorney, as you're grabbing this.
Okay.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
And Ulian, I want you to roll me a perception check.
Can I also roll perception because I'm going for the map too?
I got a 16.
Yes, but I'm going to give you disadvantage, Adam, because Gearkus is the one who notices the
Oh, that's true.
attack and who was sort of intimidating the other guy. But you could notice two things, so you could totally notice that as well. So Kirk, you got a
16.
16.
I got a 20, 15 plus 5.
Okay. We'll
I got an
role
8.
play that out in just a sec. And you got a what?
8.
Okay.
Oh no, 9.
And 16 is pretty good. Okay. So what happens is, Gearcast, you definitely don't notice the switch. You see the whole other part, him bumping in and grabbing the or at least reaching towards it, and then you see the paper kind of fly into the grave. Ulian, you notice the switch. You notice, like, just really slyly, he sort of grabs the paper and tucks it into his sleeve and drops another piece of paper. You can see that. Uncle Blaze, you're kind of watching the other people around who are clearly pulling out weapons and about ready to attack, and you can see their eyes follow the paper into the grave. So you're pretty sure you at least fooled them.
Okay.
But I'll also give you that you can tell that Ulian was not fooled.
Okay.
Now, you guys have just a couple of split seconds to role play out that interaction before basically that guy pulls the dagger out and holds it to Lily's throat.
So I'm doing all, and I'm looking around, and I look at Ulian, and Ulian must be looking at me kind of like...
I reach down, like I look down, and I kind of like whisper to you, but in a strong tone. I go, "Excuse me."
I say, and I grab Ulian. Excuse me too. I'm just sounding like an old person. I know you told me not to break character, but
no, you can
Davis,
break.
Just
dive back into it.
Tell me how to do this voice again. Okay, I got it. Hey, thank you for catching me, young man. And I wink.
And I go like, okay, actually, let me ask you a question, Adam. Has he noticed that they're about to be attacked? Or that they're being attacked? Okay.
Well, I think you're about to get it, but he definitely. I'm gonna say that Blazenar did notice.
Okay, because the fact is,
he called it.
I don't know you from Uncle Harry.
Totally.
And so for all I know, you're with the bad guys.
Totally.
So your wink means nothing to me, and I'm like, and I'm like offended by this thing, like, because I'm like, I'm the map person. I would belong. This belongs to me. So, anyways, so he goes like, I don't understand. This map was meant for me.
Okay. I'm trying to. So the lay of the land is we're outside and there's a grave.
Mm-hmm.
And how deep is the grave?
The grave is, I guess, 6 feet deep.
And is there anything else around the grave?
So the only things around the grave are the coffin has now been lowered all the way in, so the coffin's actually all the way in the grave. And around the grave are the three of you all sort of standing shoulder to shoulder. And then next to, at sort of the end of one end of that is Gearkus. And Gearkus is standing next to one of these other people who are about to attack you. And on the other side of the grave, across from you, you're standing on the long side of the grave. On the other side of the grave across to you is Lily, and there are two more of those people. And then there are a couple of more that are behind you. Have sort of effectively surrounded you with the grave in between you. And then it would be the order would be Gearkus to the right. Then it would be Blazenar, and then Ulian, and then the attorney standing at the head of the grave.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna assume that this guy is with these bad people. So I'm like,
okay,
I'm quickly gonna switch from being offended to like, whoa, you're attacking me, like, let's fight or whatever.
So I think.
Yeah.
Oh, so you say like you said what you were saying.
I just said, I don't understand. This was meant for me. This map was meant for me.
And then at that point, the guy across the thing. So while this is going on, this is where Gearkas is sort of threatening the guy across the way that he sees stepping in a very suspicious manner. And then the guy across the way grabs a knife and pulls it out and puts it to Lily's throat and says, hand over the map in the ring, and no one needs to get hurt. And then the guy right next to Gearkas basically pulls out a knife and goes to attack him. And I'm going to have everybody roll initiative now.
Do we know what ring he's talking about?
The ring was the signet ring. It was apparently Thwar's signet ring that was given to Lily.
Oh.
Damn it, I don't have any initiative bonus. 12.
17.
I think 7.
Got my cool
face.
initiative.
What's the
tracking
point of a
white
dice
right here.
rolling setup if I don't have an initiative bonus?
Yeah, if you spend money on stuff, it's supposed to improve things.
Alrighty.
I wanted to pay me later.
Gearkas, that's going to get you going before the guy who attacks you from the side.
But I can tell he's coming, so I can move first. I know this isn't. We're not playing around anymore.
You're not playing around anymore. He has drawn a knife and he is trying to attack you.
How will you describe this attacker for me? It's a he. You said. Is he beefy? Is he nimble?
They look. They actually have hats on that are covering kind of their heads, and they're dressed in appropriate kind of funeral garb. But they definitely are dressed kind of ready to hide themselves. They've got like trench coats on and hats on, and you're not getting a whole lot from them. You think
tell their
he's
bicep
human?
diameter or anything like that.
No, nothing like that. You think he's human? At least the one who's next to you. The ones who are across the way, one of them is a dwarf, and the one who's standing behind Lily with the knife out is also, you think, maybe half elf, like human, but very, very elven sort of features. And then the two who are behind you, one of them has greenish skin, and you don't know his race. But he seems like elven, but with greenish skin. And the other one was a big guy, he could not hide it, who basically was like really filling out his trench coat and hat that he was wearing. And maybe you noticed this early on, but they're all wearing pretty similar clothes to each other.
Okay. They're all part of the same team here. So what I want to do is, he has a short sword, you said? Or dagger?
Yes.
Short sword?
He has a dagger. He's attacking with a dagger right now.
So one thing I know about combat with a dagger is I want to close in the space. So I want to kind of like grab his hand and pull him closer to me, and then punch him in the face as I sort of grapple with him. And then I want to use my radiant sun bolt to make a ranged attack against the one who's holding Lily. So I want to like bring the guy in with one hand, pull him closer to me, and then kind of elbow him in the face, and then with my other attacks. So I get four attacks per round. I get 2 melee attacks, and then I can, as my bonus action, do my 2 ranged attacks. So I want to like pull him closer and sock him, and then I want to use my 2 ranged attacks to shoot the guy who's holding Lily.
Okay. Do you want to hold him close, like you've grappled him, or do you just want to like pull him and hit him?
I want to, if I can also grapple him, that would be my preference. I kind of want to like put him on the ground, sort of like the way Thrain was knocked on the ground the last game. I'm like, that's my inspiration for this moment, is to like have him down on the ground, like laying on his back as I like shoot over his head.
In that case, I'm gonna have you. I'll let you make an attack on him, and you can deal the damage either way. And what I'll do is I'll let you make an extra strength saving throw there against his strength or dexterity to see if you can hold on to him. But you have to see if the attack hits. So roll me your attacks.
Modified 20 to hit him.
Nice. Okay. So you definitely are gonna hit.
And my unarmed strike does 8 damage.
Okay.
You have 4 attacks around?
It's Monk.
Wow.
That's a
Monks
monk.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing.
Yeah, or
I have
headbutts
a-
or kicks or.
I can describe it however I want to. In this case, it's an elbow, but it's just an unarmed strike in the game. And then I because of the monk specialty that I chose, I get these ranged attacks called Radiant Sunbolt. But in my mind, I am an X-Man who shoots lasers out of my hands.
Yeah, wow. That's cool. So you're a kind of monk who has cantrips or something?
Yes, one cantrip.
It's really just this one sort of.
Yeah.
Cool.
I went to a school for the gifted.
That's awesome.
I
I haven't played or seen a monk played in version 5 yet, so it's just all new to me.
They trained my body and my spirit and not quite my mind, to give you a sense of where my attributes are. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, so you did 8. You did 8 damage to him,
Correct.
and then you want to do another blow to him, and then 2 attacks against the guy across the way.
Yes.
Okay,
So my second attack on him is that's only an 8.
that one's not going to hit. We'll describe that in a second, but then give me your 2 attacks against the guy across the way. Do you want to attack? Are you trying to attack the one that's standing with Lily in front of him?
Yes. I want to hit him to get him to. So I'm making a sniper attack here.
Yeah. I'm going to make you make those attacks with disadvantage because you're trying, I assume, to not hit Lily.
Yeah. I'm trying not to hit Lily. I'm making a bold choice here. I hope I don't execute our friend's daughter. Awkward.
It would change the direction of the campaign, that's for sure.
Oh gosh. My first attack was a 9, and my second attack was a critical fail.
Oh no.
Roll damage on your critical failure.
I'm totally a good guy. We've never met, but I'm totally a good guy. I promise you.
Right, yeah.
8 damage on hopefully not Lily.
Right, as Berto was saying, it's like I have to remind myself what Berto was saying. It's like we don't know each other, so I'm like, okay, so wait, this guy just blasted the daughter. What's going on here?
Oh, God. Yeah. So I punched that guy though, so I'm not on their team. That's pretty clear.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Punched him once, and then hugged him, which is weird, maybe.
So either he missed me and hit the guy behind me, or he missed the guy behind Lily and hit Lily. I don't know.
Let's see what happened.
So here's what I'll say.
Oh no.
You do hit Lily because it's a critical fail.
Oh no.
And Lily does not have 8 hit points.
Oh my god.
Because
next
she's
campaign.
she's not an adventurer.
What character are you going to be?
So you killed a key NPC.
All right.
So-
Girkus is retiring, and
So the
here's
game
Shush
ends.
is back. Great.
And you get a message that pops up on your screen that says, you cannot continue the game because you killed a key NPC.
Please.
Reload the save.
Yeah, reload.
Before this. No, that does not happen. However, you do hit Lily. And I'm going to have you describe that because you do knock her unconscious. She's not dead, but you do knock her unconscious. However, I will give you that the guy that you're grappling is part of the reason why you hit Lily. He pulls you down when you hold onto his arm, and that kind of throws off your aim right in a key moment.
I hope everybody saw that. That was me.
I didn't.
Right?
I didn't equip any healing spells, did I?
So, I mean, why would you? You're coming to a funeral. But you never know.
Well, you don't have any healing spells.
I don't
Berto.
have.
Yeah.
Oh no, I see.
Wizards don't have healing.
We don't have a healer on this on this team.
Okay. Well, I think you just described it, Adam. I'm gonna hold I punch the guy and take him down, and then I hold my hand up, and then realize I'm wearing my dress robes, which have too much sleeve. So he grabs the sleeve from my dress robe and pulls my arm down as I'm trying to launch the thing. And so I would say this. I was actually aiming. I'm normally a really great shot. Everybody, you should just know this. I'm a really good shot. In this particular moment, I was aiming for a precision shot on his hand. This was how confident I am that I can hit this. And because he pulled my hand down, I shot her square in the sternum, just right square in the chest.
I will say the guy who was holding a knife to her throat is very surprised as he like watches as she collapses to the ground, and then he kind of like looks up at you with like, okay.
I took away his gambling chip, you guys. This was a tactical move.
He doesn't have a gambling chip.
Right?
Do you say anything in that moment as you're being pulled down a little bit along with the guy that you're grappling?
Oops.
No, I think I'm going to save face. I don't think I'm going to say anything. I'm not going to say whoops or I didn't mean to do that. I think it's a stoic non-response.
Okay. All right. That makes it actually the guy who you're grappling's turn. He's going to try to turn the grapple around onto you. So roll me either dexterity or strength saving throw.
Can I? Oh, that'll work. I was going to say, can I do athletics? But it's the same thing. 10.
Oh yeah. Okay, you beat him. He like tries to. This is where he grabs your sleeve, and I'm also going to say because you made a second attack against him, you like struck him in the face, and then you pulled his arm down, and then you went to strike him again, and he like blocked it. Like he's clearly skilled. More than just some thug with a knife. And then he went to go grab your other leg to pull you down, and you like changed your stance and blocked his attempt to re-grapple you. And that also, I'm gonna say that your grapple was also good enough there to disarm him too. So you managed to get the knife out of his hand as well. And he is still grappled by you, so he can't go anywhere else.
I just want to say,
it,
Gerkus is never wearing sleeves again. It's a new character thing.
He's just going to rip the sleeves off.
He's going to rip his next turn. I will spend an action to take my sleeves off.
It's muscle shirts from here on out.
Yes.
And that makes it Uncle Blaze's turn.
It's my turn? I thought it was...
No, it's my turn, right?
Yeah, I'm
I
way...
got
I had it backwards. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Then in that case, it's Ulian, and then...
Okay,
Blaze.
so I'm assuming I can do like a spell and a movement. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Most spells are a standard action.
Yeah,
or
it says
not
one
standard
action.
An action, one action to cast.
You can also
So this
move
is
and then
not gonna-
cast if you want to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this is not going to go well for our party, I think, but we'll see. Because I'm just doing what I think I would do in this moment. So what I've realized, what is that?
That's
This is
you.
a little map I drew.
Oh, the map of where, okay, show me where I'm at.
So you're
Julian
right
is right there, and Uncle Blaze is to my right.
here. Yeah.
Right.
And
And
who's
there's a guy
A?
behind you.
There's a guy behind me.
The X's are all the bad guys.
Okay, and by now I'm aware that these X's are attacking me.
Right.
You can put it together. You're maybe iffy about Uncle Blaze and
Where's
Garrus,
the gal that just got hit?
She's
but,
L.
Is that
she's
the
up here.
L?
She's across
Okay.
the yeah.
All right,
She's
so
across
here's
the-
what I'm going to do, and this sucks because, if I knew what I know. But so right this second, I assume that Uncle Blaze is with the bad guys because he just stole this map from me, and they started attacking us. And his wink only reinforced the notion because I'm like, this guy's a bad guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to levitate Uncle Blaze because I want to hold him in place while I go deal with this fallen gal, see if I can help her in some way.
Yeah. There's a save. You should
Yeah.
see the save
So-
DC.
What do I do to do the levitate?
You just cast it, and I have to save against it.
Okay, I don't have to roll something?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
The
Casting
target
levitate.
rolls in
Okay,
this
so
case.
can I say a word when I'm casting it?
Yeah, usually casting a spell involves some kind of hand motion.
Okay,
and
hand
usually
motion.
words that you say.
Okay, so my hands go up like this in parallel, side by side in front of my face, and quickly dip down under, and I lift both palms up as if I'm lifting it myself, and I go, rise! And then I'm going to run over to the gal.
What's
What
your
is this?
save DC?
What's
Oh, let's see. Where does it say that?
It should say that at the very top of your spells. When you click on spells.
At the very top of my spells, it says 15 save DC.
Okay, 15. And I'm just also saying a target can move, pushing. Let's see. One creature
Constitution
of your
saving
choice. Constitution save. And my con save is a 15. 14
Okay.
plus 1.
So that makes you not levitate.
Right.
throw? You do not levitate.
Thank goodness. All right. So, but I didn't wait to see if it worked. I just did it, and I'm running over to see if I can help the.
Essentially, with a
Clicker.
con save, I guess I'm like resisting it with my body. I'm like, "Ugh," and trying to stay to the glued to the ground.
Yeah, you sort of like lower your center of gravity and
Center of gravity.
yeah.
Center of gravity. Low center. You need a low center.
It's
And then you
All
move
comes
somewhere,
back.
Berto? Where do you move?
I'm trying to run over to the fallen gal, who I am like assuming she's not evil, so I'm gonna try to help her,
Okay.
okay. There's two guys that are right next to
like
her.
protect her basically.
But yeah, you can totally run. You can kind of run around. You kind of have to push your way past the attorney, who is just stunned.
Yeah.
He has like a clipboard and stuff with like letters, and he's like and has no idea what to do with this. So you can just kind of push past him and run around to Lily, who has collapsed onto the ground. And I think she has like a big circular burn mark, is what I'm imagining, in her sternum. Is that accurate?
Yes.
They are lasers, after all.
It's a beam of radiant sun energy.
How large a beam?
Don't
are we
do
talking
that,
like
dude.
orange?
I would say
Is
more like
it a basketball-sized
Oh,
beam
no,
of
I would say grapefruit.
grapefruit-sized beam of
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not quite a pomelo. It's a grapefruit.
Was she
Yeah.
wearing sunscreen? Is what I want to know.
That's the ultimate
And
question.
what SPF?
She's gonna have a tan after this.
She is a halfling too,
size.
so it kind of
Circle.
she's very small, and you blasted
Keep
her.
making
this
it
turn.
worse.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
already sick.
She was very sickly,
Yeah.
and she did just lose her father.
Oh my gosh. Laying it on so
I will have some penance to do.
Right.
Okay.
So, Davis, when your wife asks you later how your D&D game went, you could be like, "Well, I immediately killed a young girl, an innocent. That was what I did."
who had just lost her father.
Yes, I unfortunately killed an orphan. And that was just the beginning.
my god.
She's not dead yet. She's only
That's
mostly
Mostly.
dead.
She's making death saving throws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just doing her death saving throws.
Liar.
Ulian, why don't you give me a medicine check while you're over there too?
Okay.
Please be alive. Please be alive. Please be alive.
16.
With the 16, you can tell she's still alive.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going to
she's-
heal her with medicine.
No.
You can if you have a medical kit.
If you
Oh,
have
wait. I have something. Where are my equipments?
You probably have
I
like
have a backpack.
I think it might take longer than an action, though. I think it takes.
You have like a quill.
I
and
usually
I
allow
don't
it to
have
be an
a-
action, but you can't heal her. You just stabilize her. You just make it so
and
she doesn't
I
need
don't
to
have
roll
a medical
death
kit,
saving throws
sadly.
anymore.
Yeah. Suddenly, everyone's sad that Thrain is no longer,
Yes.
and I guess so did Shush.
Yeah, you
also.
guys
I
both. I
mean,
got
Shush
so
can
used
cast
to you
healing
guys
spells
being
too.
like cast heal, cast heal.
You guys went from an overabundance of healers to an underabundance of healers.
Yeah. I don't even think we have a healing potion among us.
No,
Nobody
I don't
goes
know
to
if
a
we-
funeral expecting to heal anybody,
No.
so it's not like I'm carrying
Yeah,
healing potions.
usually
to
the
a
people that are in the
funeral.
most trouble at a funeral don't really need the healing anymore.
Okay.
Maybe we
So-
need a Nicholas that's a cleric or something.
Yeah. But so I can tell that she's alive.
Maybe that's what I wanted Lily to be if you hadn't killed her right off the bat.
Turns out that she's the best healer in the world.
This is a great healer, but you have no idea yet.
All right.
All right.
Step one,
She's-
penance. Step two, get her some armor.
She's still alive, and she is still clutching the signet ring in her unconscious hand as well,
Okay.
because it was handed to her.
And I see this.
You do. You can tell she has the signet ring. You can tell she has burn marks in her sternum, in the shape of a circle. And you can tell she's still breathing, but it's haggard and she's sort of barely hanging on. That makes it Blazonar's turn.
I jump into the grave and cast Disguise Self to disguise myself as Thwar.
Okay, that's a super interesting idea.
Let me tick off that spell right there. And then I have a feat called Actor, which gives me advantage on acting like someone with the voice and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, sorry, Kirk. 1 second.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yep.
I forgot to ask about this. So I have a bonus action.
Yeah.
When am I able to use the bonus action? Any turn?
Anytime. During your turn.
Damn it. Okay, because I have a 2-weapon fighting bonus action.
You can't.
So
you
you
can
can-
only do that if you attack with your one hand, and then you get a bonus action to attack.
I
with
see.
your-
Okay,
If you
gotcha.
cast a
Yeah.
spell, you can't use a bonus action to attack.
Got it.
There are some spells that also take a bonus action,
Okay.
but I don't know if the wizard gets a lot of those.
Yeah.
Are you a wizard or sorcerer?
Shield.
I'm a
Shield is a
wizard,
bonus
Harry.
action.
You're
Yeah.
a wizard.
Wizard's actually a reaction. So wizard is
Oh right.
have a reaction.
Shield is a reaction. Yeah.
Shield is a reaction, so you can actually cast it when it's somebody else's turn.
Yeah.
Got it.
In reaction to like you or I think a teammate getting hit.
Yeah.
I see that.
maybe
now.
that's a house rule I always play with.
Reactions.
No, it's teammate. Yeah.
Well, actually, no. The reactions I have are opportunity attack.
Yeah. So if someone moves out of your field, do you have a weapon in your hand though? So you could punch someone as a
Inventory.
as an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a quarterstaff.
Okay, so you can whack him with your quarterstaff if they move out of your zone without using the withdraw action.
Okay. Whack.
Look at you, Berto, all rulesing up and shit.
Blazenar, in order for you to pull this off, you're gonna need to break the coffin open, because otherwise it won't look like. It'll just
No,
look like.
I don't
You
care.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. So you can totally break the coffin open. So I just need you to make a check as you jump down and basically like try to punch a hole, like break open the front of the coffin and then make it look like you basically are erupting out of the coffin.
It's like a
as-
strength check, or what is this?
Yeah, I'll make this. You're not very big.
And not very strong.
I'll make this an attack actually.
Attack. Okay.
On
Like an
the
unarmed
coffin.
attack? Unarmed attack.
Bring your bodyguards.
You can
next
do it
time,
with a knife or something like that if you want.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll do it with my knife. A 14.
Oh, okay. I think you're able to break it open, at least a little bit. Like really seal the deal that you're like erupting out of this coffin.
Okay.
As Thwar. And you already know what he looks like, so you can.
And I know what he
disguise
talks
yourself,
about. I know what he talks
pretty-
about.
That's a great
pretty easily
idea.
as him. And so then you leap down, break open the coffin, and then sit up, looking exactly like Thwar.
Yeah, and is my head out of the grave, or am I below the level of the grave?
You are still below the level of the
But
grave.
people next to the grave can kind of see.
But people
in.
next to the grave can see in. Yeah.
And I in his voice I say, "Stop, everyone! Stop!"
This is now Thwar's voice.
That's
Imagine
Thor's
how
voice.
good his poetry sounded in that voice, though.
Stop
To be or not to be.
it. That's ignorant.
You guys don't know this, but Thwar is actually going to continue to be a character in flashbacks throughout the rest of the
Oh
campaign.
my gosh, that's hilarious.
Now I have to do this
You've
voice
sealed
for
the Thor's
Thwar
fate.
for the entire rest of this campaign.
Well, I mean,
So I'm
think
so
about
happy
it.
you did this
These
character.
these people are smaller than like a 4-year-old. Do you know? Like these are very
Totally.
small creatures.
That's totally true. Halflings are
or maybe the
they're pretty
size of a 7-year-old, maybe.
By the way,
Yeah.
do we all? So we all saw him. This happened. This just happened. We saw it.
Yeah.
And do we all fall for it? Do we have to roll something, or in our turn do we have to? Like,
So I have to
you guys
roll.
are gonna have to roll too.
So I roll advantage on my deception check, and
And
it's
everybody
rolled
else can
against
roll-
your insight check.
Yeah.
insight. Okay.
So I got a 24.
Yikes.
Jeez.
I got a 21.
None of the guys or the attorney got high enough to see through the deception.
What about you, Davis?
I actually was checking some audio stuff. Let me check right now. I got 10.
Okay.
The all the other people are fooled. How did you wind up, Gearkus?
10.
Okay, everyone is fooled. So you say, what was it again? It was
Stop, everyone! Stop!
there is definitely like a pause. Everyone is surprised.
Quick question: Was this guy was Thor? Was he a healer by any chance?
Like
what was he? Yeah, Thwar.
You guys all knew him as kind of a
The reason I ask is
Renaissance man. He never really made it very clear what he did.
Would I know? Okay, so I wouldn't know like, oh, this guy can heal her. So like, I wouldn't be like.
He didn't seem to know any magic.
Okay, got it.
I'll say that much. He didn't seem to know any magic. Although he did seem to know a lot about stuff. Which was a lot of your relationship with him, Ulian, is that he just knew a lot of history and a lot of very interesting.
And this is his daughter, right?
This is his daughter.
Okay. Was his daughter.
Was his or is-ish his daughter-ish.
Everybody pauses long enough for you to say something else. Do you want to add anything to that? Everyone just looks really surprised.
So I'm looking and everyone seems convinced. Okay, so I say, help me out of here, young man. And this guy's, he's not old. Help me out of here. And I reach for the first person that seems to be closest. Who's closest? Even if it's one of the bad guys.
Either Ulian or one of the
Okay, Ulian. I reach for Ulian.
All right.
Help me out of here.
Okay, now. Okay, so I've been fooled. I think this is him. So that probably means I've lost track. Let me ask you, do I think that my spell worked? Do I know that it didn't work?
The levitation spell?
Yeah.
You immediately saw it didn't work. Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
you know.
So I'm wondering, like, is this some sort of like mind trick that in other words, what I'm wondering is, would I be looking to see what happened to the other dude? Or I guess I'm too shocked right now by this, like, Dora coming back to
You
life.
can tell that the other guy is gone.
Okay, so maybe he ran away. So I don't know.
He could have run away. He could be behind someone else. There's a really big guy across the grave.
He's got the map. Okay, all right, got it. Okay, so you're reaching for me, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Thor, let me help you up. Quickly, your daughter.
Oh no, my daughter.
So I reach down and try to pull him.
I fall on my daughter. On Lily, and I, act like I'm crying. I guess I am crying. Maybe I knew Lily, and I'm like, no, Lily. And I'm looking up at the guards and seeing what they're doing.
They're all looking at each other. It's sort of like
what the?
And you can see one of them mouthing like, "What do we do?"
I try to sleight of hand. Do I notice that she has the ring?
Yeah.
I try to, I'm hugging her and I try to sleight of hand grab the ring.
All right. You can do that. All the other guys are all going to have disadvantage because they're still trying to figure out how to react to this.
Well, I'm probably going to think
you can roll a normal insight or normal perception.
I will, but at the same time, for right now, I think this is Thwar come back to life or whatever. He's more than entitled to the ring anyway, so I wouldn't even... I wouldn't be like, why are you taking that ring?
I only rolled a 9 on my side.
Okay. So it's not as subtle as you want, but it might not look strange for you to be taking it.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. In any other context, I might think it odd that like the first thing that you do is go get for the ring. But right now I'm thinking, like, Dwar's alive, the daughter, blah, blah. So I don't care what his hands are doing with the ring. Like, this matters none to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guards seem confused.
Yes.
And I look at the attorney. What's the attorney doing?
He also seems really confused. He's actually like flipping back through like his paperwork. And you're not sure if he's looking for like a reincarnation clause.
Did my 2 o'clock get mixed up with my 4 o'clock? I pick up Lily and I just go, we must get her to a healer fast.
And then I'm thinking, sorry, while this is happening, I'm thinking I need to protect him and her from these bad people.
Yeah.
So I just start moving there's probably clerics nearby, right? It's a cemetery. It's probably overseen by at least some healers, right?
There is actually there are like a couple of different I guess small chapels might be a good way to put it, for worshiping with different gods. But they don't actually have clerics like round the clock at all these small chapels, but you're sure there's probably one or two around somewhere.
They might be in there. And so
Right, exactly.
That's right.
The guys kind of are getting over their being stunned, and one of them shouts, actually the one who's still being grappled by Girkas, shouts, "You idiot! Kill him too!" I guess you idiots, kill him too. And they all sort of snap into action and start chasing after you. But it's enough time for you to like pick up Lily and get enough of a lead that they can't like immediately make an attack on you.
Okay.
So now it's a chase. They are running after you, and you are running through a graveyard.
And I guess I'm running with them, right?
And Ulian, I think you're running right along with him. Girkas, all of the other guys, except for the one you're grappling, all start chasing after Ulian and Blazenar. And since this is now a chase, Ulian and Blazenar, I'm going to have you roll a, I guess we'll make this dexterity, just to see if you can like pick up some quick speed.
Could it be intelligence or something?
A dexterity.
Not on this one.
A save or a check?
Check. This one is a check.
18.
This is just how quickly you're like getting fleet of foot to get away from.
Oh
these
no,
guys.
Berto.
4.
Oh.
It wasn't a 1, but oh, but let me add my modifier. Oh wait,
You don't have one. I got 18.
All right. Blazenar, Lily is not that light, but she is also a halfling. She's not that light for you to carry. You're carrying a whole person, but she's also a halfling. So I'm not going to make you roll a check for it. You're just, really hoofing it while carrying something that's got quite a bit of weight for you. But you're making some great. You're taking off. You know that there's a lot of trouble coming your way. This is not going to fool them for forever. It really only will last a moment. So you're taking the element of surprise and using it to the best of your advantage. Ulian, what kind of clothes are you wearing?
Well, I was dressed for the occasion. I've got my best funeral robes, and they align the stars so that I can learn from the event. They're not very comfortable.
You're kind of tripping over your robes a little bit as you're trying to chase after. So Blazenar has a bit of a lead on you, and right behind you are 4 very tough-looking people who have now all drawn weapons.
Oh God. Okay.
Since they are spending their entire turns all chasing after you, that makes it Lily's turn. She's going to make a death saving throw. Which is a success. So she is.
Well, she's got to make 2 more.
being.
She's got to make 2 more.
Oh God.
Yeah, she's got to make 2 more successes before she's in the clear. And that makes it Girkas' turn. Girkas, you now have this guy, and it's pretty clear now who at least is chasing. Who's on a team at least.
Yeah.
That part's pretty clear for you.
So Girkas knows he needs to catch up with everybody, but he's not going to get up and let this guy be. So he's going to use his attacks to just do radiant sun bolts on the guy's legs to sort of keep him from leaving. So it's like,
All right, you're trying to
basically
cripple
it's
him.
like, yeah, he's going to hit him in the leg. Like, I'm not going to kill this guy probably with these attacks, but I'm going to do all 4 attacks into his legs.
Okay. What I'm going to do, Adam, is I'm going to make your attacks do half damage since you're hitting sort of a non-vulnerable spot. But every attack that you hit on his legs, he's going to get a saving throw to try to save against being crippled, basically.
All right.
And I'll let those stack, too. So if you cripple him multiple times, I'll make that last longer and be more effective.
So can I? Yeah. Okay. So my first attack was 22 to hit.
Okay, that definitely hits.
Is he grappled? So do I get advantage?
You're grappling each other, so you don't get advantage.
He is grappled. He never really succeeded on the grapple back on you.
Right.
So, yeah, I'll give you advantage on these attacks. So roll me
Cool.
4 attacks with advantage.
My first attack is a 22. My second attack is a 23.
Woo.
That's definitely hit.
And my third attack is 23 again.
Wow.
And my fourth attack is A critical hit.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
He no longer has legs.
These D&D Beyond virtual dice are my
Jeez,
friends
so you're like
today.
a martial art like lethal weapon.
X-Man. It's straight
Yeah.
up X Dragonborn. So what's the damage that I should roll all 4 hits?
Yeah, just go ahead and roll me all the damage on that, and I'll have it after that.
We'll wait.
And since you critically hit, I'm also going to give you some extra benefit here.
I want to hear this described, by the way.
I know. So you can do 4 sunbeams in one round?
He can replace
hold
it
on.
for any attack that he does.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
he can do 4 unarmed strikes, but any one of those unarmed strikes he can replace to a ranged sunbeam attack instead.
Cool.
That was 19 plus 8 is 27. And then plus 6 is 33 damage. And that's not including whatever you want to do for the critical.
Okay. Did you already roll extra critical damage
No.
with the critical? Oh, okay.
No.
I'm just
I wasn't
gonna
sure
give
because
you
it's
extra.
technically a radiant or ranged spell attack if you were going to do
Yeah, you can
that.
still crit. It's still a normal critical, but
so then
I'll
that's
take that into account.
39 damage.
So I think that you. I don't know how brutal I want to make this. I'll leave that up to you. You definitely cripple him. He is not going to chase after you in any way. I will say you don't just cripple him. You like permanently injure his legs. And I'll let you describe what that actually looks like. But he is like won't be healed by a healing spell permanently.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he made me hit Lily. So
He was trying to kill you, so
No, totally, but he besmirched my honor, so it's much worse than that. So I don't need to describe the graphic nature of it because I think that's unnecessary. But I will. There is like smoke coming up from him laying down on the ground, and like a smell and a sound that is all. There's all of those senses are playing into this particular scene here, and then I'm going to get up and run as fast as I can to get over to them. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be ripping the sleeves off of my dress robe so that I can never have anyone ever grab my sleeves again.
I love it.
I would also like to. Oh, and I already used my bonus action. Never mind. I was going to use Step of the Wind to go faster, but I used my bonus action already.
Well, that guy is out of commission from this fight, at least, or at least the chase. He's not unconscious, but he is not going to chase after you. That's for sure.
Yeah. Gerkus is running with his eyes like a wolf, like straight ahead, like
Terminator.
yeah, let's be
Terminator
like
style.
T2000 or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Could you also have given him like a tattoo with one of your sunbeams that says like, "Don't mess with the Gurkhas"?
Gurkhas
I
was
probably
here.
could have, but I would hate to have wasted the time doing the fine point detail.
What
on that
took you
tattoo.
so long? Well, I had to tattoo him.
He will forever remember that.
Yeah, Gerkus was here.
Awesome. That's going to make it Ulian's turn. Ulian, these
All right.
guys are quick behind you, and you're chasing
And I'm
after-
realizing that I'm being slow. So I'm going to cast.
Fireball.
Well, see, I don't think I can attack. Wait, does Fireball do an area of effect?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see. So I can attack
And-
all of them.
Yeah.
With the distance that everybody is at, you basically could hit all 4 of them with
All
Fireball.
right, then that's what I'm going to do. All right.
Yeah.
Do I just cast it and roll my effect? Roll the die?
Yeah. You
so you
roll
just
the
cast
dice.
and you roll your dice
and
for damage.
8d6.
8d6. And
1,
they-
2,
they
3,
have
4,
a-
5, 6. I don't even have 8d6.
I know, right?
Oh, God.
And they each get to make a roll, and I think your DC was 15.
15, yeah.
15.
All right.
Okay. And then I have 2 more. Oh, but I
Oh,
should tell
no.
those.
Oh, no.
Just 5, 10, 15.
Not a single one of them rolled higher than 7.
Oh, no.
24 plus 9. 30. What is it? 24 plus 9. 33.
Oh, my God. Yes, we have a wizard on board.
You may not have healers, but you've got fire.
Yeah. We've really gone the other direction with these characters.
Yeah.
All damage, no healing. We better kill them all before they actually touch us. Except for me, I mean, I'm kind of weak in all sorts of ways, so God help me.
So
I'll just
not a
stand behind you guys.
yeah. Not a single one of them succeeded their saving throw, which means they all took the full damage.
Wow.
And they're all kind of running after you. And I like the idea that this is maybe like a surprise moment for them, but I'm going to let you describe.
Okay.
They're not dead, but this is definitely going to set them back from chasing
So first
after
of all,
you.
the way I cast this, because I'm like running, I'm like struggling. So I do this thing where I like stop and catch my breath, and I suck in air, and then I go like Dragon Ball style, you know, like both palms extended forward, and I go flames with a sibilance at the end.
And the fireball hurls forward and explodes right in the middle of all of them, and they go flying off into different directions
Nice.
as the fireball explodes.
Different parts of them go flying.
Yeah, they are all kind of on fire now. So they're not dead yet, but they are badly injured and on fire.
Oh, they're not
I
dead
see.
yet. Oh, okay.
I say to them, as I see the fireball explode, I say, I hope you know I hate doing this. It is uncivilized, but you forced my hands.
Awesome. And then do you turn around and keep chasing after
Yes.
Uncle
Yeah,
Blaze?
I turn around and keep trying to catch up sluggishly.
Well, Uncle Blaze, that makes it your turn.
Can I can I re-roll to see if I can get a better, like tear my fabric too, or
You
take
can
off my
destroy
pants?
you can destroy your fancy gowns to
But they're so fancy.
but
and
they're
I'm
so
really-
fancy.
Can I? Fine.
The
I'll
choice
just-
is yours. I let
I'll just
Adam
waddle-
rip
I'll
his
just
sleeves
waddle.
off. I think you can
I'm-
totally.
I am pragmatic, so I think I need to unencumber. I just don't want to destroy them. So like I take the time to like pull off my my thing, and underneath I'm wearing like this like slightly inappropriate tight outfit.
So are you in your underwear now?
Like full
You've
body.
like pulled
full
pulled
body
off your
Ulian
dress
underwear.
robes, and now you're in
Yes.
you're in like a slip or something.
Yeah, it's like one of those you
underneath.
wear at the lodge that's got that little hole in the back for the pooping.
It's long underwear
Long
that you
johns.
have on.
You're
Long
wearing long
johns
johns.
underneath the
Long johns.
amazing.
And they're also blue, so it looks a little suspect, honestly.
Yeah, and you pack your dress gown into your
Yes.
bag.
Yes.
So that it might get wrinkled, but it won't get destroyed.
And ironically, I took probably as long as it would have taken me to just waddle over there.
Yeah. I love it. Blazenar, that makes it your turn.
I'm just running to the chapel.
As you cover quite a bit of ground, and you make your way over to one of the chapels, and I'm going to say it's one of we'll say the closest one is the chapel of Corleone, which is the god, the elf god of, kind of good elf god, and Corleone. Corleone?
Yeah.
Corleone?
Don Corleone.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about Corleone.
And you come bursting into
That wasn't
the,
that bad, right? That was okay.
No, that was good. That was a good
great.
one.
I
You
gotta
come
do- I
bursting
I gotta
in
do
and-
this every time with my hands. Every single time.
You do, that's the secret is you got to like get into the right body position.
Yeah. I'm really worried
there-
about pulling off this voice, by the way.
There is an elf that is there who appears to be sort of tidying up, and you come bursting into the door, and he turns around and he goes, "Oh goodness, what? Can I help you?"
This young lass needs healing. Please tend to her.
And the elf says, jumps into action, and he's a cleric, and his job is to like heal and help people. And he says, "My goodness, what has happened to her? Please lay her down over here."
Someone attacked her. I don't know. It's chaos outside.
It's chaos. What is happening?
I don't know. I don't even know.
And he's
Am I
kind of
there
looking out
yet,
the
or-
door, and at that time, a fireball goes off in the distance. And he goes, "Dear God, close the door then! Bar it behind you!"
I close it.
And he sort of stops and he focuses for a moment, and he is casting a healing spell. And
Sorry, one quick question. When let's see, when I went to help and I helped the fake Dwar And I basically said, does that mean that Kirk's character now sort of has seen that I'm on the Thwar side? Like, that I'm not... he obviously knows I'm not one of the bad guys now, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately it's up to Kirk to decide.
Oh, it's up to Kirk. So, Kirk,
what
do you realize that
Blaznar
I'm on
is
the
gonna do
good
with
side?
that.
Well, you don't know yet, but I mean, metagaming wise, it would
Okay.
stand to reason that the three of us were not a part of whatever that was,
Yeah, because I still think you're evil and that you've fled with the map. Okay, good. Sorry.
Yeah. Maybe I am evil and I did flee. Maybe I'm fleeing. Maybe this is the end of the campaign.
Lily's
it.
dead. And
He goes off on his own.
character is
Solo
out.
campaign with just
Solo
Blaznar.
Do that today.
The priest is able to sort of focus and you see he rubs his hands together and has a moment of like real focus and places his hands over her chest and she like takes a gasp and starts to breathe again and she kind of comes to it and looks absolutely panicked and she says what's happened?
Oh, I say, I say, Lily, and I actually drop the. What do I do? What do
Are you gonna remove the disguise, or are you gonna try to pretend to be?
No, I drop my voice. I say,
Lily, it's Uncle Blaze. I'm in a disguise. I'm not. I know I look like your father, but the people attacked all of us, and so I'm here to save you. We're in the chapel. I'm glad you're okay, and we just need to make sure that you're safe. Do you feel okay now?
So I'll say for clarification, you've never met Lily.
oh, I haven't.
Yeah, you can totally call yourself Uncle Blaze. That's your
okay.
name. But you definitely have not met her, and in
Okay,
fact,
well-
you did not know that Thwar had a daughter.
Okay. Well, I say the same
Florida.
thing because I assume she's.
Okay, that makes sense.
Totally.
But she's probably freaked out, like, Daddy's
she is.
back!
And she goes, Dad?
No,
Blaze? What is going on?
I'm Uncle Blaze. I'm one of your father's friends. I was invited to the funeral.
I don't understand. Did someone attack me?
Yes, someone attacked you. We need to make sure you get safe. Priest, sir, do you have a room in the back that we can hide in?
The priest is like, room down. Yes, of course. Yes. Please come with me. Please, this way. And Lily says, wait. I think I dropped my father's ring.
I have it right here. Let's go. I have it right here.
At what point do I arrive at this place?
The three of you go running there, and at this point is when Uli and you show up at kind of the door, and the door is barred and locked.
So I'm like
but you
banging
can see,
on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not designed to really keep people out. There are windows, so you can easily see like the three of them moving further back into the.
Can I open the door?
No, because I think it has like a bar
So
down on.
okay, so I just start banging on it, like, let me in.
Blaznar, do you want to do anything with that, or do you want to?
So I turn. So do I know it's him? Do I know it's Ulian?
Yeah, I think you can
By the
see out
blazes, let
just as
me
easily.
in.
Okay.
So you
I
can tell
sit-
it's that guy.
go,
You don't know who he
Continue
is.
going to the secret room.
and I turn around and I look out the window.
You can tell it's definitely like Ulian, and he's now in his pajamas.
Do I see anyone else behind him? Are there people?
Not immediately because they're all on fire and.
You just see the fire.
Okay,
yeah.
so I unbar the door and
And you're still in
let him
disguise, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I unbar the door and I let him in.
Okay.
Come in, Ulian. Do I know his name? Did I hear his name get spoken?
I think you heard it. So
Okay.
if you think your character would have paid attention to that, then
Come in, Ulian. Come in.
Okay, and then so I come in and I say,
And I close and I bar the door again and I say, "Come on, we're hiding in the back. Come on." And I grab his hand and let's go.
okay. And then as he's doing this, I say like, it's a miracle you're alive. I can't believe it. And just so you know, an evil man stole your map, and we must retrieve it.
Okay.
How is your daughter?
She's okay. She's doing fine. Let's go to her.
and Ulian, you go along with Blaznar dressed dressed and acting as Thwar, down into an actually pretty elaborate secret. It's just a closet. It's basically just a closet in the back of the thing that now the priest and Blazenar and Lily and Ulian are all kind of huddled into, and trying to stay quiet for whoever's coming after them.
Okay.
And I say so I don't know if you want to go to Davis, but I want to say something to Lily.
Yeah.
Lily. Oh wait, shit.
Yeah.
So I keep at the pretense. I say,
this is
Lily, and I look and I sort of section myself off from her, from the rest, and I put my hands on her shoulder, and I wink in her. Who knows if maybe people in Dungeons and Dragon don't understand fucking winking. I don't know, but I wink and I say, remind me of the plan for why you were giving those three fellas the map and the ring.
Lily says, I don't know anything about the map and the ring. I haven't spoken to you, Dad, in years, but I'm so glad to see that you're alive.
I've got to be suspicious at this point. Meaning, like, that interaction to me will feel...
Well, basically her deception against your insight.
Yeah. So
Can I roll something?
I'll roll her deception. She's not great at deception. But she's also really confused. So not only is she not great, but I'm also giving her disadvantage.
Fuck. You're kidding me. 8.
That's better than her roll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she got a 5 and she has a -1.
Oh my gosh.
So she's trying to play along. Blazenar, you can tell she's trying to play along. She's just you're literally a professional. You're so good at this. This is what you do, and she's like just not picking it up. She's doing all the improv no-nos. She's saying no to what you said. She's really not picking it up. You just know that she is. I don't think you can tell that Blazenar is not Thwar, but you can tell that she is too confused as to what's going on, and whatever she said is like, just out of confusion. Like she doesn't know what she's really saying.
Okay, so at this point, do we go to Adam for a second?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Girkas, you come running up. Right. You watch as the fireball hits these 4 guys, and they all scatter. And you come running up right as they're done putting themselves out.
I want to breathe fire on them.
Okay. they basically turn and see you as the next likely target, and they all turn around and then like ready their weapons and like all stand ready to like block you.
Out of the fireball and into the dragon's breath.
Yeah, exactly.
I was literally going to try something like that, but you got it.
So they have to make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw to half the damage.
Okay, all right. 2 of them are going to succeed. 2 of them fail. Give me the damage on that.
It's 6 damage. It's only 2d6 damage.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. 4 and a 2. The average of 2d6. I got 6 damage breathing, but I also don't really want to stop. I want to keep running.
Okay, so you mostly want to use this as an opportunity to like blast them backwards a little more. I think it totally works for that.
I don't care about these guys. I care about...
Go ahead and describe that to me. They're like they all kind of ready their weapons and stand in their way, and they're like burnt and they have patches. They're still smoldering.
Yeah, I picture them kind of like, oh, I can't believe that just happened, and then they get up and then they turn around and see me, and then I'm running as fast as I can. They're like, okay, we got this, and then the burst of fire, and as soon as they see the fire, like kind of like jump out of the way. The ones that succeeded on their saving throws, and the ones that didn't kind of just get caught up in it, but they're trying to jump out of the way from the dragon's breath, and Girkas just like camera cuts to the other side, burst of flame, and then Girkas runs through it.
Nice. Awesome! I love it. And with that, Girkas, your speed and stuff is fast enough that you're able to make it to the door.
Pronunciation note: it's actually Girkas.
Girkas.
Imagine the word hair,
Girkas.
and then a g, hairkas. Girkas.
Girkas.
That's Girkas. Yeah.
Awesome.
So he runs through the flames.
Awesome. Garricus, you show up at the front door. As everybody is hiding, they're all in the closet by now.
They barred the door is still barred, isn't it?
Yeah, and you saw them go in there, so you know that they're in there.
Yeah.
Do you want to stand there and wait, or do you want to wait for these guys who are pursuing you to come after you, or do you want to try to break in?
So I know if I break down the door, then
not
I'm
gonna look
also
great.
it's also letting the goons in, and I've sort of I have to sort of atone for what I've already done, and I think busting down the door wouldn't be good. I think I'm low intelligence but high wisdom, and I think it's a wisdom choice there to not break the door down. So I think I'm gonna try the handle.
Would you know that would you know that we think that you're evil?
Well, I did just shoot Lily in the chest, so I have no idea what you think. But either way, I know that I probably have to explain myself. I have some splaining to do. So I'm probably going to try the door, and then noticing that it is locked and barred. It's not just like a lock, because I might do something if I could bust that just thing over that, I could reseal it or whatever. But I think I'm just going to try the door, see that it's barred, and then turn with my back to the door to just have a final fight with these guys.
Lily, in the closet, turns to you, Blazenar, and she says, "Dad, what is going on? Who are these people?"
So I finally have half a second to think at this point. Can I use an insight check or something to try to figure out what Thwar was doing? Because this is all based on Thwar. He had us come, the three of us, to this very small funeral, and the attorney was handing us this map and this signet ring also?
Yep. He handed the signet ring to the daughter.
Lily. It's she gets the ring and we get the map.
And you get the map, yeah.
And so can I use, or can you just tell me, is Thwar a smart, good person?
Yeah, let me put some pieces together for you, at least of what you know about Thwar. You know that you and Thwar were tight enough that you knew quite a bit about him. It is unusual that you don't know that he has a daughter. That is pretty strange to you, because you spent a significant amount of time pulling capers and doing things together. You can look at her and tell she's young enough that you haven't seen Thwar in quite a long time. And there were periods of time where you just didn't interact with each other, years that went by where you didn't see him for a long, long time. And then he would show back up again and you would have, some caper or adventure together. In every moment that you ever interacted with Thwar, he was nothing but trustworthy. He was loyal. He was as close as you could call a friend. And there is no reason that you would ever think that Thwar was not on the up and up in some way. Okay. However, you know that this is another one of those lull periods. You haven't talked to him in quite a long while. And when you heard about his death, I'll say that the circumstances surrounding his death seemed very fishy. Apparently his apartment burned down. And he was caught in the blaze inside of his apartment. No pun intended. And it just all seems really fishy. One of the things you knew that Thwar was good at was that he was a brilliantly dexterous, great, for lack of a better term, a treasure hunter. He was great at history. He was wonderful at finding his ways out of sticky situations. You can recall an instance where you and him had stolen a bunch of merchandise from someone else, and you watched him leap up onto shipping containers to make his way out of a window high up in the air. This guy doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would have been caught in a burning apartment and perished as a result. So the whole thing seems a little fishy to begin with, and it's clear that he was keeping maybe more secret from you than than you originally thought, but you don't think that he was doing so in a way that was malicious. He was always a good and trustworthy guy.
Okay.
A couple things. One, I'm going to want to cast Detect Thoughts on the daughter because since I just noticed that she was being weird, I just want to know what's up in her head.
Sure.
And two, did I know that he was caught in a fire?
Yeah. I'll
So I
say
think that-
when the funeral happened, all of you knew Thwar long enough that
Okay.
you found out the circumstances of how he died.
So I think that now that the situation is calming down, given that I am, quite intelligent, I'm going to be first super curious about why this person that I hadn't met or knew that he had a dog, blah blah. Why is she trying to deceive right now? So I'm going to detect thoughts, but also I'm starting to be like, wait a minute, I thought he was burned. In my
Okay.
head,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
So casting a spell is a very noticeable thing, by the way. So you go
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
Oh, I see.
And so you can't just like
I can't
turn
I
on
see.
But if that's what
Yeah,
you want to do.
Oh, okay.
especially in a closet crowded with a bunch of other people.
Yeah, so I can't. Okay, I see.
So sometimes you can turn your back and be like, "Hubba-da-dubba-da-da," and then like turn back around.
Yeah.
You can get away with that. In this particular instance, you're not going to be able to cast a spell
Yeah.
without them.
Most spells involve you going into your component pouch, picking up little like rat's tails and stuff, waving your hands, and saying a bunch of Latin.
I see. So when I would do this normally, it would have to be like,
Unless it's one of those spells that's not like that, which I'll look up.
well, for the duration, you can read the thoughts. When you cast a spell as your action,
So you see a V and S. You see those symbols?
yeah.
So V is verbal, S is somatic, which means moving, and then
Okay.
M is material, meaning that you
Okay.
reach into
so
a
it's
bag.
it's more like the person or the creature knows that I'm about to try to detect their thoughts, and they won't be
No,
able to.
they don't necessarily know the spell you're casting. Actually, that's
Oh,
a
I see.
skill. They just know you're casting a spell.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
And,
Now-
and
I
you
see.
you could bluff that.
I
you
could
could
bluff
say,
it. I
"I'll
could be
I'll
like-
cast a spell to protect us," or
Right.
something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and
Okay,
then
I see what
cast
you're
the
saying.
spell.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I'm aware of all this, obviously. So
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so then I am going to want to try to bluff a detect thoughts here.
Okay. So that's a
so I think what I-
deception. That's a deception based on.
I think
But
what I'm
then
going
you
to
don't need
say
to roll.
is, I think what I'm going to say is, I will protect us in the meantime, and then I pull out whatever it is, and then
a
I
copper
Go,
piece. It's a little.
yeah, and then I go like,
So penny for your thoughts. That's why they have a copper piece for the detect thoughts.
oh, that's great.
If I may, given the situation, detect
Yeah.
thoughts also allows you to tell where people are. So it allows you to like focus in on one person, but it also allows you to like tell if there are thoughtful people within a certain vicinity.
Also, I think that I could probably have what I actually what I cast, the words I use. I could do it in a way like, for example, the words are, now tell me what's on your mind or something like this. But like, I could make it seem like that wasn't part of the spell,
Well, no,
Like-
it's weird arcane words that you would have to
I
be
see.
an expert to.
I see.
That
Yeah.
maybe someone could tell the spell, but it's not in common lingo.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
ultimately, I'm pretty loose with the words that you use.
Okay.
When you want to go like, I cast fireball and I shout fireball,
Okay.
that's cool with me.
It doesn't matter.
Um,
So I'm just gonna say like, okay, I will cast something to protect us. Oh, land.
Sweet.
So can I do like an Arcana check to see if I know? What
Yeah, give me an Arcana check. I
Do I
think
have to roll something?
it is it's technically a bluff, but you're really just saying I'm casting something to protect us. So
Yeah.
there's no way to tell that it's a bluff unless you can tell what the spell
I
is.
see.
So
Okay.
roll an Arcana check, Blazenar.
I rolled a natural 20, so 22.
Jesus.
I mean, we're supposed to eventually be on the same team anyway.
Yeah. Of
It's
course.
so true.
I'm just saying Jesus about your roll.
I know.
I don't think I've ever rolled a natural 20 in any game we've ever played until this moment, by the way.
You can tell what spell it is.
Okay.
You can discern what you want from it, but what I'll say about the detect thoughts is, yes, he can use it to sort of tell surface thoughts from somebody, but he can also use it to tell if like someone's right outside. So like he can detect to see if there are people around
Right.
that he can't see.
Right.
So
You-
it's
you
not a
get the
terrible spell to
sense-
cast if he's trying to protect you. That
There's
can
a
be up to
very
you to
guilty
determine.
dragonborn right outside this building.
Right, like he can now tell that the dragonborn is right outside, who
Yeah.
feels very
Oh,
guilty.
interesting.
It's got
okay.
this really sort of, really guilty
I-
sort of vibrational quality to my thoughts.
Now it does say like, you can focus your mind on any creature that you can see within 30 feet. So I was definitely going to focus on her. And anyways.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah, so you can see as an action what is most on your mind. So actually you have to wait until your next turn, technically, because you used your action to cast a spell.
Yeah.
And then on your next action, you could focus on one person to kind of discern what they're particularly thinking. And then you can, as an action every turn, you could switch to a different person.
Actually, it says when you cast the spell and as an action on each of your turns.
There you go.
So you can do it as you cast the spell, and then you can do it again on each of your,
Right,
your
that makes
subsequent
sense,
turns.
Okay, so I guess because it says you initially learn the surface thoughts, blah, blah, blah. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper. So I was literally just going to ask her a question, but
And then detect surface thoughts. You can totally
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you want to, on your next turn, you can go deeper than that. But she will get a saving throw against you going deeper.
Okay. So I was probably going to do the cast and then turn to her and say, like, now tell me what's on your mind.
I think she's. She says, "Well, I'm confused. I was at my father's funeral, and now people are trying to kill me." And she kind of reaches for her sternum and kind of rubs at her sternum, and she says, "And I don't know what you are doing here either. Did you know my father?"
So I'm
So
wondering
is she saying this out loud, or is she saying this in her mind?
She says this out loud. What you
So
can
I'm
tell from
wondering
the
if I'm
surface
able
thoughts-
to detect anything odd in her surface thoughts as she's saying this.
Oh, I see. Right.
What you detect in her surface thoughts are, she says she's saying to herself, sort of, is like, I don't want to die, and I don't know who these people are. Can I trust them?
That's huge.
And she's also saying, it's just like Dad to leave me like this.
Okay, shoot. Okay, so when I hear that in my head, I immediately now, I now put two and two together, unless I have to roll for something. But basically, like, I'm
think
like,
you're
wait,
smart
I
enough
thought
to
he
put
was
those
supposed to be
pieces together.
burned, and how did he come back? And then that's not him because she doesn't even recognize him or whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's not Thor.
Yeah, I think you can totally put those pieces together. I guess that makes it. We skipped everybody. I guess that makes it Blazonar's turn again.
Okay. So I open the door and I peek outside to see what's going on.
So outside you can see.
I mean,
you
the
can
door
see-
of the closet, you know.
Yeah, you can see it's not a very large chapel. It's like a small, like long space. It's really designed for like small gatherings of people. And on the other end of the space is the front door that you kind of came in with, and there are windows that are right there, so you can easily see kind of right out the other side of the front door. And you can see you heard Gyarkas rattling the door, and you can see he has like turned around and he's striking a pose as you can watch the four guys who are kind of hobbling and making their way and are basically like walking
Smoldering.
towards him with like crossbows and weapons drawn, and it's basically like Gyarkas like standing in front of the door against four foes that he is
Sleeveless.
like preparing to fight.
He's sleeveless now. You see his rippling.
Yeah, he's
biceps.
sleeveless. He's ripped his sleeves open, and you can tell he is like clearly prepared to fight
Yeah,
these
the
four guys.
robe is not the only thing that's ripped. Is what I'm trying to say.
Kirk,
And their clothes are also like burnt up. They don't have hats anymore. They are all clearly ready, and you can tell these other fellows are also muscly. They are clearly fit. They are capable guys. Not only did they survive that fireball, but they clearly are like more than just your random street thugs or anything like that.
Kirk, one question. Oh, sorry, because you did end up figuring out that I was casting
Yeah.
deception, or
Well, you don't know that. Your character doesn't know that.
No, I know, I don't know that, but you know that I was casting
Detect thoughts.
detect thoughts. So are you?
I'm not aware that you're. I would be aware if you're trying to get into my mind, because I would get a save, and there's probably something in there that says it succeeds.
I'm just
either
wondering
way,
if you're
either way,
smart
the target
enough-
knows if you're probing into its mind.
Right. I'm just wondering if you're smart enough to be worried that now I know that.
Well,
that
you don't know. You know.
Yeah,
It's all in my noggin right now.
Okay.
Character and all.
Okay.
Okay. So I look outside and I see that, and I say, I turn to Ulian, and I drop my disguise. I just drop the spell, and I say, as fast as I possibly can say, I say,
Ulian, Thwar was a good man. He was a wise man. He must have chosen the three of us for some reason to have this map.
and I hand him the map.
Awesome. Ulian, how do you respond?
It's my
to
turn?
that?
Okay.
No, but you guys, I think this
right,
is
right,
role playing
right.
enough for you to be able to kind of hop
Okay.
back and forth.
So let me think. So obviously, as soon as I put it together and I saw him start moving to open the door, I started getting ready for action, because I'm assuming he's with the bad guys and we're about to die. And so the map is like secondary right now. Like I'm thinking he's about to attack us or something, or let them in, worse, or whatever, right? So I guess I start getting ready to cast something, but maybe luckily I'm not going to cast Fireball because we're like all in here and stuff. So
I mean,
but maybe
we could do a persuasion check against something, or I don't know.
Well, yeah, but like I think you're probably doing this quick enough to where like I'm getting ready to cast something and then you start talking, right?
Yeah.
And
so-
he dropped the disguise too.
And he
so
drops the
know what
disguise.
it looks
So
like.
so I have a moment, a second in my head to go like, oh, wait, and then your words are clear. So I what I probably do is I'm still worried. So I'm probably gonna cast something like Mage Armor, because I'm worried.
Okay.
But then I'm going to like engage. So I cast Mage Armor on myself.
You know how to tick off the different spells, right? Slots.
Oh, sorry. I when I cast Fireball, I didn't press it, but now I've cast it. Now I've done it, and then I'm about to do Mage Armor. Then I've done that. Wait, it didn't do a thing.
Those little red squares.
It didn't.
The little red squares?
Oh, whoops! I did it twice on accident. I didn't see the red squares were up above the fold, and then when I did levitate,
Yeah. That's
That
a
was-
second level spell, I think.
this one. Okay, got it. Yes. Okay, so I've done one second level, I've done one first level, and one third level. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, Nonzama, and then I'm gonna say, like, I'm not reaching out for the map because I'm a little hesitant, but I'm gonna say like, why did you steal the map then?
I didn't know what else to do. It was chaos. It was. I didn't have time to think until we were in this closet together.
Very well. We must protect her and
I know.
the
Let's
map
go.
from
And
everyone else.
I know. Let's go. We gotta help that fella outside.
And I close the door. I grab Ulian and I pull him out and I
Right,
close
right.
the door.
So I'm still a little hesitant, but like we're going with this.
As you are having this conversation, and then you cast Mage Armor on yourself as well. The four figures are coming up to you, Gerkus.
I picture in
And-
the amount of time that they were talking in there, I have dispatched all of them in a blaze of glory. And I'm like, see, I'm a good guy. See?
So the
This
really
pile of
big
bodies.
one, the really big one, who you can now clearly see now that most of his clothing is burned off, is a Goliath. He kind of steps forward, and they all have weapons drawn.
So describe to the non-D&D people out there what a Goliath is.
Goliath is sort of a race of, I guess, really gigantic and half giant, I believe, is like the style of Goliath. I'm actually gonna look that up.
Yeah, Goliath.
And they are huge and muscly, not necessarily unintelligent, and often have sort of grayish skin, and are very sturdy, very difficult to take down. And if there's anything that can stand head to head against a Dragonborn, it's something like a Goliath that stands just as tall, probably a little taller, actually. And the Goliath says, listen here, little man. You get out of the way. We want nothing to do with you. We just want the map and the ring. And you've shown yourself to be plenty strong. We have no desire to kill you and rid the world of someone with your skills.
I'm no man. And then I punch him.
Awesome.
I'm a dragonborn.
They're all close enough to you. The Goliath.
I am Dragonborn.
He is going to. Nope. I guess I'm gonna let you have this punch. Gerkas, give me some attack rolls. Do you want to try to attack each of them once? They're all really badly injured.
My plan was it was this guy, this big. There's it's just a thing you're supposed to do. You punch the biggest guy, because if you can take down the biggest guy, the little guys run away. It's classic.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit this big guy just square like a roundhouse punch. It's a 17 to hit.
Nice. That definitely hits.
So that first hit does 7 damage. Can I take my full flurry of blows and everything on this guy?
Yeah.
Cool. So then I'm going to hit him again. I'm going to roundhouse punch to the face, and then left uppercut to the chin. That one does as a modified 20 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hit.
On that one, that is 9 damage. So right cross, left uppercut, and then I'm going to give him a knee into the stomach.
Yeah.
And my hope with that knee to the stomach, which is a 18 to hit. That one does 5 damage. My hope is that he'll kind of like bend down a little bit as I knee him, and then I'm going to hammer 2-hand punch to the back of his head.
Give me that last attack roll.
That's a critical fail. It's a critical fail on that last hit. I'm getting new dice. I'm getting new dice.
Somehow you hit Lily.
You still hit Lily again. She falls unconscious again.
Oh, man. And this isn't a true test of the honor code system, because we're not in the same room, that I am telling you the truth here, because that is 2 critical fails on the same night.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
So
I got
as
a
Lily
critical
was
fail.
coming out of the thing, what's going on? Smash.
No, not Lily. That's going to be a recurring joke in this whole campaign, is that Gerkas punches orphans.
So you do knock him unconscious with the first 3 attacks. Or you can kill him if you want, but knock him unconscious, given the circumstances, seems to fit a little better.
Yeah.
You definitely you hit him once and he really reels from it, and then as you sock him again and then you knee him in the gut, he collapses down, and then you get ready to bring the hammer down on top of him, and he just sort of like continues collapsing down, and then like face plants with kind of his butt in the air and on his knees and into the ground at your feet.
So your critical hit is your fists go into his butt.
But you kind of stop yourself, and so like you realize he's unconscious, and you don't want to like punch him in the butt, and so you like bring your fist down, and then you like realize in that moment like, oh, he's already out, and then you sort of like try to stop yourself mid stride, and then you kind of like stumble over top of him.
I just put my hands gingerly on his buttocks. And then you guys come out of the door, and it's like, no. You guys, it's not what you think. Oh, I'm not on their side. I'm a good guy.
Detect thoughts.
The other 3 charge towards you. You've knocked this guy out, and he was definitely the toughest one of the bunch. The other 3, two of the other 3 charge towards you. One of them fires a crossbow at you, and Blazenar, you can definitely see this from the window as you're looking out. You see him take out the Goliath, and then you watch as the other three kind of come in and try to attack him. And you're gonna take some damage from this.
All right.
One of them critically hit against you.
I deserve it.
So you take. You're gonna take 18 damage from the critical hit.
Ooh.
Ouchie pants.
And then another 10 damage from the other two attacks.
I hope you have hit points.
I have some hit points, but also that was a lot of hit points.
But that's going to make it Ulian and Blazenar's turns.
Do we have to roll initiative or something?
No, we're still
No,
in initiative.
you guys are still in initiative. We've been doing the whole thing in initiative.
Oh, got it.
And Lily is just still hiding in the closet, so she doesn't really say anything else.
We closed
on
the
her
door,
turn.
yeah.
But I think you can totally see this. And Ulian, you can tell, like, there were 5 mines out there, and one of them was stealing himself against and attacking.
Okay.
And now there are 4.
So do I, when I sense the mind, I don't know, do I know that it was the same one that attacked Lily earlier? That attacked the girl earlier? That seemed to attack the girl?
I'll say yes. I don't know if Detect Thoughts works quite that way, but yeah, I'll say yes. You can.
I'm
tell.
just trying to determine if when I see this person, I'm going to be, okay. So I think what happens is I've now started to really assemble the picture here. There were some people that were there. The map was going to be handed to the 3 of us. So I'm like, okay, this is all really quickly in my head. Like, he was probably missing, and then all these people attacked us. And so I need to go and help. That's what I'm thinking. So I want to go and cast some stuff to help.
All
so am I able to cast through a window?
Depends on the spell. For some spells, yeah.
Because I mean, can I see these people through the window? The people coming?
Yes.
Okay.
You can essentially see them through the whole scene kind of happening. If you open up the door to the closet, you can see outside.
see.
You can see the 3.
Okay.
All this
I mean,
happening.
I want to go.
It's also not that far, so you could probably make it all the way to the window or even out the door if you wanted to in a turn.
I want to run. I want to run and get myself in position because I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay. You can do so from the window or you can open up the door and cast the spell that way.
Okay. I think. Oh, but the Goliath is down. I was originally thinking I was going to do a witchy bolt. So. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do. Oh, I still have another fireball, right? Oh, that's so overpowered. Okay, then sure. I'm gonna cast my other fireball.
Yeah.
So you could hit. I think you're pretty precise with your fireballs.
Because it is a fireball, I am definitely gonna go outside. Just, I'm gonna.
You're definitely gonna open the door. Yeah, you can't fireball through the window. It'll just. It'll shatter the window, I guess. Is what that would do. Because 2 of them are like attacking with swords and daggers against Gierkus. You can't hit all 3 of them without hitting Gierkus as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
However, you can hit one of them and the guy who's got the crossbow who shot at Gierkus, who's the one who also critically hit.
So he either hits 2 or he hits 4.
Right.
I see. But it might. But I don't want to cast it close enough to because I now know that this dude's on our side, so I don't.
If you hit the 2, it definitely won't hit Gierkus.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna aim for that.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you can totally do that. Give me
All right, here we go.
8d6.
86. I'm gonna have to buy more of these things.
Oh yeah, they both failed their saves too. I don't think they're making it out of this.
Golly. Out of the fireball into the dragon's breath, back into the fireball.
18. And whoa. 10. 28.
Wow.
Yep. You eliminate those 2.
Nice.
I'll let you describe what that looks like.
Okay, so as I run out, I basically are these double doors or single door?
I think it's a single door.
Ah, damn it.
But
Okay,
if you want to burst through double door style,
yeah, no, it's a
I'm
single door, but I go, wham, it opens, like swings open, and I go, thou shalt burn. With my palms out.
And the fire erupts, blasting the two of them down, and they are down for the count.
Yeah. Nice.
That
let me
makes it
click that off. I'm out of
poisonous.
third level spells for the day.
Okay, so my turn.
Yep.
So I dart past him, and as I'm running, I draw my short sword and my dagger, and I shank the last guy.
Yep.
And
Give me an attack roll with your weapons.
Sneak attacks. 20 to hit for 15 damage.
Awesome. That is enough, but you can also land your second attack if you want to
Okay.
really
Well,
deliver it in.
I don't get my
story-wise.
sneak attack with my little guy. 14, does that hit?
We'll say yes for the
Okay.
sake of the
Six
story
more.
and the
Six
yeah.
more damage.
Nice. Okay. Yes. Absolutely. Describe for me that last scene. It's definitely enough to finish this guy off. As
So
he's just stabbed into Gearkus with a short sword.
So as I'm trying to get around Ulian, so I do a little spin around him, like when running backs really do a good spin, and I'm pulling my dagger and my short sword as I'm doing that, and I come right at him, and I have to come at the flank, right? So at the side of where the Dragonborn is, and I just both blades just right into the gut.
Ooh. And he collapses to the ground. And you guys are now officially out of combat. And
Nice.
I think there's like a pause and a moment, and then you hear coming from the back in the closet, the priest says, "Are they gone?" And that's where we're gonna end for the day.
Okay.
So with that,
Quick question. Quick question. Just noob question here. So, what is my +4 modifier +7 spell attack? What does that mean in my spells?
When you have
So-
to target someone with a spell,
So, like my Witch Bolt says
Yeah.
hit /DC +7. Okay.
yeah. So there are some spells. Some spells work by you just cast the spell, and then it's the job of the
Like
target
Fireball.
to get out of the way of the spell
Yeah.
or resist against it. And other spells require you to be precise in your targeting,
see. Got
like Witch Bolt or like Ray of Frost or things like that, where you kind of have to make sure you're pointing your finger just right, perfectly at them in order to land the hit. And so in those cases, you have a spell attack roll that you roll, and then you do it just like a ranged attack or a melee attack.
Makes sense.
Or a laser attack from your
Or laser
radiant
fist attack.
fists.
Yeah, where you hit the woman and turn her and
Only if somebody pulls your
the
sleeves.
the orphan woman.
Never again. Never again will I wear sleeves.
Was she also a mother? So
She's leaving behind a small orphan. Their babies. She has 7 babies, and no father. He already died.
She also
in
delivered
a
breakfast
horrible-
to several people who needed meals,
Yeah.
and
She serves the community as a
She knit hats for the homeless.
serving the elderly.
her husband had been killed by a dragonborn.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
she did support the economy in her small way. The economy will definitely take a small hit from
Yeah.
her.
A lot of people are going to lose jobs
Yeah,
as
at
a
least-
result.
At least a quarter of a job is going to be lost from that situation.
Tragic.
But she did
Tragedy.
chew with her mouth open, though. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the
I mean, to
one
be
thing.
fair,
She had a really annoying laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cackly.
Yeah, so you win some, you lose some.
With that, we'll do our checkout question, which is a spotlight that you have for somebody else. Who wants to start us off?
I want to spotlight Umberto because he's really trying to get into the head of the character, which I always love. As we were heading into this, it's tempting, and I kind of fell into that where it's just like, well, I know we're supposed to be on the same team, but Berto is like, no, I'm going to try to remain true to the character because throughout my 40 years playing this game, that's always my most enjoyable part of playing a game. It's like, okay, I know things about what's happening, but what would this character really believe? And stepping into that worldview is so fun for me to play around with. And And I always appreciate it when other people do that, and I don't appreciate it when people metagame, when they know, well, we're really supposed to be friends, and so let's just move past this step, instead of really trying to be true to the situation. So that's my spotlight, is Berto. Berto
Awesome.
And his in-character mindset adherence.
Oh, thanks, man.
Can I just say it is tough to do because we're walking a fine line where the other side of that is that you can roleplay your character where you like, I don't trust any of these people, and why would I? And I like turn around and walk away. And it is a fine line to walk where you don't necessarily want to say like, I trust you implicitly for no apparent reason, because I know you're a player at the table and not a random NPC in the world, which is not very in character. Versus the other side of that, the other extreme, which is I don't want to trust anybody, and why would I trust anybody in this dangerous world where my character is suspicious of everyone?
Yeah, I've played with people like that too, and it's really annoying. But a big part of that is the DM. If the DM sets up the story that gives the characters a reason to be together, which you did, there was a scenario where the NPC was giving the three of us something, and so that's why I did that. In the middle of the closet, I was just like, wait, so I'm trying to piece together, do I think this guy's smart? Would I trust his judgment in these other two yahoos? And it gives me an opportunity to, again, stay in character, but also play, cooperatively so that we can move the story along.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I can go next. First of all, let me say, it's a lot harder to play this character. I've appreciated why I always revert to the brutes, because it is easier. I can just sit there and just say funny things and be an idiot and punch people and hit them. This I'm like, what spell what can I do? Anyways, but it's fun though. I'm getting all geeky about it. So by the way, if I'm asking extra questions and stuff, forgive me. It's a lot of it is me trying to understand what's possible. I will say I loved Adam's martial arts today. It was so cool because I was trying to get a sense of what this character is like. I don't really understand. I didn't have a sense of what the monk is like and stuff. But you were pretty descriptive with your attacks, so I was getting a really good. And then I punched, roundhouse punch, and then I elbow him, and that was awesome. I got a really good sense of the character from that.
Awesome. My spotlight goes to Kirk for the voice. I appreciate the, the voice. And I was doing a thing where because we're on camera, even though it's an audio podcast, but I get to watch you guys. And I was like watching you do the full face for the character. And I found myself mirroring you. Like I just naturally.
That was helping me actually.
Saw your body language and I got into the same thing. And I didn't do that on purpose. I just like felt myself hunching over and my chin jutting out because I was like so in tune and harmony
really
with Uncle Blaze. So that's my spotlight, was the
really good.
Infectious nature of Uncle Blaze.
I think I actually want to echo that spotlight and just say I love everybody's voices for these characters, and it's going to be a lot of fun when we get into like a lot of heavy roleplay scenes where everybody's chiming in and role playing with each other. I think all the variety of voices is really going to add to that in a really amazing way. So I love everybody's character voices in this.
I especially got a +1, the Kirk one, because from the previous campaign, it was hilarious because I'd be like, and then swish, and then so I just kind of like say, hey, you should move out of the way. And so this time you're like really going for it.
Well, you might appreciate that by the end of this campaign, my butchering of various different. I mean, it kind of morphs in. I kind of do this. It's getting pretty. It's a little wide. I'm
but
really
you're committed.
I mean, I'm airballing it several times.
I love it.
You gotta wander until you can find it, right? Until
I'll
it falls
probably
into the right
wander
spot.
until the end, I think.
Can I also say, just as the game master, I had planned like a whole lot of stuff for today, and a whole lot of possible different directions that you guys could go, and none of them involved Adam almost killing the important NPC or Kirk turning into the guy who's supposed to be dead to fool everybody. And so basically everything got thrown out the window, and it turned into whatever it was today. But I just really appreciate you guys for coming up with creative solutions I never would have thought of. So I really like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting how in this scenario, it somehow worked out, I think kind of randomly, somewhat semi-randomly, that we all highlighted a core of our characters, you know? Like, because I was wondering, because when I took this feat, the actor feat, I was wondering, will I ever get to use it? You know, will it ever come up? I'm guessing it probably will. And for, Berto's character to, come off as the arcane, powerful, but smart, and sort of a little distant from regular civilization. And for Gerkus to be the badass, guy himself, fending off multiple attackers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And I got to say, like, Adam Johns, like, good job fending off our craziness.
Yeah, you don't make it easy, but you make it a whole lot of fun. So I appreciate that.
Right. Just to put a fine point on it, in 99% of other campaigns that I have played in, if I would have tried to have done that, where I try to pull off that I look like the dead guy, all the other dungeon masters would have thwarted that plan, because in their head they're like, well, this throws off my whole plan for today. And it's going to be annoying, it's going to throw. I have to now improv when I don't want to. I had a vision of how this would look. A fight would happen. They'd dispatch the guards, and then they'd have a conversation. I don't want him running. This is bad, and so the DM would make sure to thwart me. I can't tell you how many times I've played in games like that, and it's wonderful to be in a game where you have an improv yes and dungeon master who's smart enough and creative enough and nice enough, I suppose, player-centered enough, if you will, to just be like, okay, well, I scrapped that whole plan I had. Let's see where this goes. I have no idea because the other thing is Adam has to trust me not to just like run off with the map, because that's what I could have done. I could have been like, okay, right. I run away. But he has to trust me that I, as a player, have at least some sense not to just ruin his entire campaign from the get-go. There's a trust that the four of us have to, give each other to not to allow other people that freedom.
Right.
It's in the same way of like you trying to steal the map at the beginning, for some of this is knowing you as players and knowing that like, okay, this is going to be interesting rather than like destructive to like the players at the table. Right. But it's certainly like an amount of trust of being able to say like, all right, I'll allow you to sort of swap it out and see if you can trick everybody and let the dice determine the successes of that, because we're ready as players and you're ready as players to roll with that one way or another. I know that Umberto can run with it. If he's tricked, he'll go like, all right, I think that's the map down there, and he'll role play and add that in. And he also won't be offended that you stole from him. Like you, the player, Kirk, stole from him something in real life or anything like that. He knows that it's part of the game and it's part of the
right.
play. So.
Which is another thing I've experienced in other games before. Where
that was mine.
Yeah. It's just like,
but
I want to be the powerful one. You know what I mean? Right. I want to be the guy who tricks people. I don't want to get tricked. That kind of thing.
Or I had a different idea for the scene. I will say we were lucky that I wasn't playing Grollo, because Grollo would have just tried to maul the dude on the spot.
Right.
Like, my map.
Yeah. It's definitely.
Let me open up your head to detect your thoughts.
Grollo, the entire campaign as Grollo the Wizard.
Yeah.
Grollo the Wizard. He learns a couple spells and oh boy.
Yeah. Fireball is just him running in and hitting a bunch of people spinning around with his maul.
Yep.
I love it.
But and also on a therapeutic sense, I could imagine that as we play these characters, which are different than our maybe more go-to characters, that it will explore other parts of our personality. I mean, for me, I've always liked playing thieves. Like when I first started playing Dungeons and Dragons in 1982 or something, I sort of gravitated toward the thief class for some reason. I even created my own game called Thief, just because I wanted more rules around breaking into a house and stealing stuff and hiding in shadows. There's something about that when I was in the 5th grade that I just really thought
awesome.
was cool. And so, but it's been a while since I played a character like that, really given a chance to be in character like that, to think like a conniving person who is trying to play people, trying to manipulate the situation. And so that's where I was kind of in this, when I was at this funeral, that was what I was playing around with. Of course, Thrain would have just been like, here is the map, and I am a good guy. And
Right.
But now, Blazenar in this situation was like, I don't know any of these yahoos. This shit's mine, and I'll figure it out later. Like, I'll get all the stuff, and then I'm going to suss this out later, and we'll find out what happens. And was prepared to run off with the map if like Ulian did something funny to me, or, you know, it's just like, well, better off me than them, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So it was interesting to explore that side, because it's not a comfortable space for me to be in, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to say on the idea of as you make new characters. You know, we've talked a bit about in some of the previous podcasts about how you put little pieces of yourself into the characters that you make as you make choices for who they are. But when you make a brand new character, you have this amazing opportunity to take a different part of you or work on something new that you didn't get a chance to do with your previous character. And Adam often likes to say you play the character you need to play. And that's the idea that you really like are going to bring up the things that you need to work on, or the things that are most interesting to you or most relevant to you in the time period in which you're creating them. Whether or not there are aspects of your characters that are dictated by the fact that we're still in the middle of a pandemic of COVID-19. Like there's probably an aspect of that exists somewhere in the character that you create. And it's definitely interesting, especially in the early parts of character creation. You put a lot of that into the process that you usually sometimes you realize, but oftentimes comes up a lot later down the road, where you realize, oh yeah, that's kind of what I was doing with that character, and never really realized that was the case.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are you trying to explore your inner Wolverine, Davis?
It is something that I don't get a lot of access to in my regular life, you know, the punch first, ask questions later. So maybe I just need a little bit more reflection to consider how I'm needing or wanting that in my life.
I mean, you definitely seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, Shoosh was just not, that wasn't Shoosh, you know, so This is like a particularly fun, different character, because he does get to, like, 4 attacks in a round. That's fun.
Yeah. There's a pretty big leap between 3rd and 5th level, I'll have to say.
Oh yeah, it's level 5 is a gigantic step forward.
Yeah.
I was gonna add to that the I was very pleasantly surprised with the fireball. I know Kirk had told me, like, oh, fireball, but I wasn't expecting. So I almost sort of imagined that this character recently learned, you know, like he just recently became level 5. He recently learned, and he might have not had a chance to use this yet. And so he was like, sort of like surprised himself, like, whoa, that's powerful.
Yeah, you did 33 damage to 4 targets in one action.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
The only thing that I personally found fun was when I rolled poorly on the running, and then just imagining like he was all dressed up, all proper for the. This is mostly a little.
For this.
Yeah, this is a tall but like nerdy bookworm, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what an adventure in this small little scenario that, you know, into the chapel, into the closet, detect thoughts, you know, Adam's outside, you know, fending everyone off. There's explosions, and, you know, there's so many different aspects to what happened in that small little scene, you know.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, nice job, everybody. It's a great start to our campaign. we'll get a chance to see some of the storyline as it evolves that I had planned out and we never got to in our next campaign when we record next time.
And tune in next time, everyone. And everyone out there, keep your fireballs ready and take care of yourself because
You deserve it.